For this X's O's film room video breakdown, we're going to take a look at a two-play combo that you can run out of the iForm Pro, and one is a pass play and the other one is a run play. We're going to go ahead and start off with the run play, and the name of it's called Inside Zone. So let's go ahead and take a look at it as far as what it looks like. And as you notice, this particular play, it has the halfback running through the 24 hole. So if you know what the 24 hole is, that is basically between the right guard and the right tackle. So as you look at your screen right there as we're showing there, you can see that's where he's going to run the ball between. And what this play does, as I said before, as the halfback goes through that hole, he's going to follow the lead block that's ran by the fullback. So the fullback's going to come into this area here. He's going to look to block the nearest defender that can make a tackle on the running back once he comes through the hole. So in this case, as we're going to show the video, it's going to wind up being this guy here, which happens to be the middle linebacker. So that's what you're going to see as we go through it. Now, as you look at it, as far as the run block assignments are concerned, on the outside here, you're going to have both of the outside receivers. They're going to go ahead and block the two outside defensive backs. In this case, it's the right and left cornerback. And to the inside here, as far as what the offensive line, this is kind of look at it here from with the left tackle start off with. He's going to block the right end. You're going to have the left guard. He's going to block the right outside linebacker. The center is going to work his way and block over here towards the weak side defensive tackle. And then the right guard is going to block the strong side defensive tackle. And then the right tackle is going to go ahead and block the left outside linebacker. And then this guy right here happens to be the tight end. He's going to block the left end, or at least try to. Now, with this play, keep in mind we're running this against the 4-3 stack, and so those blocking assignments may change if, say, they came out in the 3-4 type front versus a 4-3 front. So I want you guys to understand that. Now, as far as this play, as I've already pointed out, we're looking to go ahead and run behind the fullback as he goes through the hole there, which is a 4 hole, and we're looking to go ahead and pick up some positive yardage. Let's go ahead and actually run the play and just take a look at it, and you'll see what I mean as far as this is with this one as we run it. And you can see right there, I'm just going to put it on pause. And you can see right now as you look at it, the fullback, he's looking to go ahead and block the middle linebacker in this area here. And that's going to go ahead and spring the running back or the halfback as he goes through this hole here and he picks up some positive yardage, as you can see on your screen. The strong safety is actually going to end up making the tackle here. Now, I can't promise that you're always going to pick up a lot of positive yards with this play every single time, such as what I'm showing here. But in this year's game, the running game is pretty strong. I've felt that this play here has been pretty good for me as far as picking up some positive yardage, and that's the reason I wanted to show it. Now, what I also want to do is I want to go ahead and show a passing play, which is a play-action play that works off of this one as far as the inside zone. And the name of the play is called Play-Action Weak Flood. And with this play, what I like about it, as you're going to see on your screen as we go through it, is that it's a nice play to go ahead and beat bump and run man coverage, and it can also be ran against zone coverage and has some success. Generally, when you hear the word flood, those type of plays are generally work really well against zone coverage, but there are some plays here with the flood in them that can actually work against man, and particularly this one here. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at it as far as the default pass routes. And as you look at it, you can see that the split end, he's going to run a backward C route or a corner route. And he takes an inside release and he breaks over there towards the corner. And then if we work our way across here, you're going to go ahead and take a look at the tight end. He runs a shallow crossing route or a drag route from right to left as you look at your screen. The play's primary receiver, which happens to be the flanker, he's going to run a dig route. He's going to take an inside release, break up the field about 14 yards, and he's going to break across. And as I said before, he is the play's primary receiver. And then coming out of the backfield, the fullback, he's going to go ahead and run a flat route over here towards the right. And then you're going to go ahead and have the halfback, he's going to go ahead and take a play fake from the quarterback. So you're going to see something like this where he comes into this area here, gets the play fake from the quarterback, and then he's going to go in this area here and he's going to break towards the left, towards the sideline over there. Now, with the play fake, the idea of this is to try to get some of those linebackers or some of those defenders to bite on it. In this case, what we're going to show here is these guys right here, these middle linebacker right here is going to bite on it, and so is this guy right here. So you have the right outside linebacker and middle linebacker going to bite on the play fake. And that's the idea of this design, this play, is to get those guys to bite on the play fake. And then the idea of this is as we drop back, especially against zone coverage, when they bite on that play fake, we should wind up finding someone like this as far as the as far as the flanker coming across in this area here, especially those linebackers bite on the play fake. So that's the design of the play as far as against zone coverage. And you would see this guy would possibly open, as I said before, you would see this guy coming up in this area here and breaking across based off of the play action if those linebackers were to bite on it. Now, for me, I don't like play action that much, but for this particular play, I'm going to go ahead and leave it on, and because I want to work off the inside zone play. And so what I want to do is I do need to make a couple hot route adjustments. Before I do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the defense I'm going to run this against, which happens to be 2-man under. As you look at it, 4-3 stack 2-man under. As you look at it, you'll see there. And the corners on the outside are obviously in bump and run man coverage. Okay, so you can see those guys are in tight coverage on the, or press coverage on those two outside receivers. Now, as far as with the hot routes, I'm going to make two of them, and I want to kind of explain them to you a little bit. The first one that I'm going to show is the split in. I'm hot routing him on a streak. Now, you don't have to hot route him on a streak if you don't want to for this particular play. The reason I do is I feel I like this play a little. I like just to go ahead and have him run a streak, just draw some defenders out, maybe the free safety to get him dropped back into this area here. He's really not going to make any difference if I don't. I suppose the only way it would, by hot routing him on that streak with the free safety, if this receiver, which is again is the flanker, if he was to come in this area here and he breaks across all the way across, by hot routing the split in on that streak, it's going to draw that free safety back. Generally, I'll have the ball out long before that ever happens, so I just want to point that out. Another option would be to do with him, as far as hot routing him rather than on a streak, what you could do is you could hot route him on a slant route. Now, if you hot route him on a slant route, just one thing you got to understand here is he comes up here and breaks towards the inside here. At some point, he's going to probably intersect with the flanker as he comes across on his dig route. So that winds up bringing an extra receiver into that area that you may not want. But generally, again, you're going to throw the ball long before he ever does that. So if you want to hot route him on a slant just to give yourself another nice option, you can. By all means, do it. As far as the other hot route adjustment, now this one's kind of important. That's to go ahead and hot route the tight end on a streak as well. And kind of the same thing I mentioned with the split in. The idea of this is to go ahead and draw a safety back. In this case, it's going to be the strong safety. I do want to force him back into this area here. And the idea of that is, as I've kind of already talked about a little bit here, is to go ahead and allow the flanker to get open as he comes into the inside here. So by drawing the strong safety further back, such as what you're going to see on your screen here, by drawing him back, that takes him totally out of the play. So he has no chance as far as helping the left cornerback. So here's a strong safety dropping back to go ahead and cover the tight end, and then the left cornerback is going to be here. So the strong safety can't come up and try to make a play once I make that throw to the flanker, and that's what you're going to see me show here in just a second. So that's the idea of this play, is that when I do this, I want to try to go ahead and lift the strong safety off by hot routing the tight end on the streak, allowing me to find the flanker as he comes across. Now, speaking of the flanker, let's go ahead and take a look at that and go back over here and just draw him out one more time. Or at least as far as it shows all the pass routes as far as what we're doing with them. And you can see on your screen, there's all the pass routes once we make those adjustments. But let's go ahead and concentrate primarily on the flanker here. And as I've kind of already pointed out, he's going to go ahead and break up in this area here, and he's going to work his way to the inside. Now, as a quarterback, once you come out of this play fake, and you're going to probably end up somewhere in this area here when you come out of it, you want to look for him as he comes into this area here. So you're going to see him go up in this area here, and he's going to break to the inside. It's at that point that he should wind up having some type of separation. That's good. Right illustration, wrong defensive back there. The left cornerback, he should have some type of separation on the left cornerback, and that's what you should wind up seeing here. So when you make this throw, you're going to throw it into this area here, and you should wind up completing it where you can pick up some nice yardage. Generally, against man coverage, especially against bump and run man coverage, the flanker usually gets some type of separation just as he breaks to the inside. And one of the things you might want to do with the controller here when you make this throw, you kind of have to look at it, but you might want to throw it at the 9 o'clock position. So when you're throwing that ball, you want to throw it to the inside by throwing at the 9 o'clock position. Now, there's something else I want to point out, and you're going to see it as we run this. This particular route, this dig route that's ran by the flanker, he is not going to be jammed at the line of scrimmage by that cornerback, making it a nice bump and run man beater because he doesn't get jammed. So that's the other reason I like it. So let's go ahead and actually just go ahead and run the play and take a look at it, and you'll see that he doesn't get jammed. Like I talked to you right there, he doesn't get jammed. And then he goes up the field, and right there is when I'm going to make that throw. See how he's breaking to the inside right there? And that's when the ball needs to be thrown. So if you run it as I'm showing here, a lot of times you can pick up some positive yards. Let's go back here and look at something else I wanted to point out, and I talked about this just briefly earlier. If you look, you're going to notice that these two linebackers both bite on the play fake. And now if this was against zone coverage, that brings them up, and there's a good chance that you're going to end up finding the flanker open even more as he comes across, possibly as he breaks across even against zone coverage. The other thing is, against man coverage, if this linebacker right here, in this case, is going to be this middle linebacker, as you look at it, since he's in man coverage on the fullback, if he bites on his play fake and comes up too far, then what may end up happening that you find is that the fullback may leak out into the backfield, over to the right flat, and be wide open too, and give you another option to throw to. So that's the nice thing about this play, is that it's a nice play. If you run that inside zone play, you can work your way off of that one with this particular play and pick up some positive yards. Just go ahead and finish it up here. Saw the play fake right there, and then we end up throwing that ball, as I said earlier. And the other thing I pointed out, and we kind of talked about briefly as well, was the strong safety. You'll notice that he's out here, and guess who he's covering? He's covering the tight end who's running that streak route and drawing him totally out of the play. And that was the idea of hot routing the tight end on the streak, is to get rid of that strong safety. So that's really it in a nutshell as far as with these plays. I just wanted to show that to you. So these are two plays that you can run from this particular formation that you can have some success with. So you got the inside zone play, which is this one right here, which we kind of already talked about. You got the inside zone play right here, which you can run, and then you can turn around and run it with the iForm Pro play action weak flood play and end up picking up some nice positive yardage. So hopefully this will give you guys a little breakdown of two plays that you can run from the iForm Pro this year that are pretty nice as far as picking up yardage.